What's up, YouTube? Rochasaurus here, back with another React video. Today we're looking at Cyberpunk 2077. Phantom Liberty just got better. Let's take a look at what this is. Let's go!
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Wes here, and today we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. We've got some big updates to talk about. The game keeps getting even better, and you guys are not going to want to miss it. So despite its incredibly rough launch, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most successful single-player games of all time, selling over 13 million copies in its first day, and millions more over the next couple of years as the updates came out and people gave the game another shot. Now, Cyberpunk 2077 is a very well-designed and well-written RPG that, let's face it, just needed a little bit more time in the oven. But now that CDPR has patched it up and got the game into a much nicer state, they can finally shift their focus to post-launch content. The first
definitely needed a little more time in the oven.
Major expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 is right around the corner, and in today's video we're going to go over absolutely everything that you guys need to know about the update, because it's not just an update that adds new content to the story. This is a complete overhaul of the entire Cyberpunk 2077 video game. Now, if you haven't played Cyberpunk in a while, or maybe you skipped out due to its terrible launch, there's never been a better time to get into it, but you might want to wait just a little bit, but we'll talk more about that in just a bit. Real quick guys, I'm giving away a PS5 for 120,000 subscribers. If you guys would like to enter, it's pretty easy to do that. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment your Twitter handle, and tweet me proof, or you can put it in my Discord server in the PS5 giveaway channel. I've got further details in the pinned comment, so best of luck, and let's get back into the video. Now, just last week we got our first official look at Phantom Liberty, including its story, additions, and what it's going to do to the overall experience of the game. The story is going to revolve around V, the main character, being pulled into a conspiracy involving the all-new Pacifica combat zone, trying to kill the POTUS of the Cyberpunk game world. You meet a new character named Songbird, an apparent equal to Johnny Silverhand, and will serve as your main leader and companion throughout the entire experience. Although Johnny Silverhand will be back in full force as well, the tone of the new story seems to drop the base game's dark and moody atmosphere and replaces it with something more akin to a spy thriller, and gets started right out of the gate when the president's plane is shot down and starts an all-out firefight between various factions. The combat is much more intense and involving, and the pace seems a lot higher than the base game, which should be pretty awesome for longtime players who want something new, as well as new players looking to experience something more intense than the game we were initially marketed. It's going to be super awesome to see the world of Cyberpunk in a new light, and I'm excited to get my hands on the full release later this year. Now, interestingly, the new character Solomon Reed, played by Idris Elba, was absent from the demo, which is obviously a pretty ballsy move by CDPR. Maybe they're going to try to avoid spoilers. Whenever games have big celebrities in them, the marketing campaign and demos will usually put them out in front and center, so the fact that CDPR is instead using the demo to show us all the gameplay change.
I mean, that says a lot about the game already, especially with the DLC. They're not, like he said, they're not marketing some sort of celebrity up front right away. They're more or less showing the demo, which is what we want to see, and marketing that and having the celebrity kind of as like a bonus. So that's good. That's good. That shows progress, and hopefully we'll see a lot coming from this DLC. So far it sounds good. I'm excited. I'm excited, and who knows, I'll probably end up buying it, or more or less buying it for sure.
And the additions to the game makes me a lot more excited to see the whole thing in action. I mean, imagine spending millions of dollars on Idris Elba and not using him in the demo. It kind of shows some serious confidence, and I'm totally here for it. This expansion is going to be much more than a simple story addition, like I said before, and it certainly lives up to the size and scope of previous CDPR projects like Hearts of Stone and, of course, the legendary Blood and Wine for The Witcher 3. Now, the expansion isn't going to be all action though, as the demo showed off some of the slower moments where you can explore the map, interact with NPCs, and lose yourself in the futuristic world. But in addition to all of these story changes, CDPR is reportedly making a ton of massive changes to the gameplay as a whole, and as much as all of those changes weren't shown as much as I would like them in the demo, we do have a lot of official details from the devs regarding what to expect from the overhaul update once it officially goes live. And before you ask, no, you do not have to buy the expansion in order to experience all of these changes, so definitely keep that in mind. The overhaul will indeed apply.
That's amazing. Right off the bat, you do not have to purchase an expansion to see all these changes. That's exactly what I was talking about in my last React video for Cyberpunk. I was like, they're better off just if they're doing an overhaul, which it looks like they're doing an overhaul and content versus one or the other from what we were discussing on the last React video for this stuff. If they're going to do an overhaul, they better make it free to make up for the launch. That's exactly what I said, and that's exactly what we're getting, guys. So this is incredible news.
Apply to the base game as well, so you don't have to buy the expansion on day one. You'll still get all of the changes we're going over. So even if you're looking to play the game just on another playthrough and you want to experience Cyberpunk 2077 at its best, then just wait for the update in September. So according to creative director Powell Sasko, just about every part of the original game has been reworked in some form or fashion, and he recently reiterated that despite it being a sequel in development, the team is still dedicated to making Cyberpunk 2077 the best possible game it can be before the franchise continues, which I respect and I love a lot. CD Projekt Red took the base game's brutal launch criticism to heart, and it seems like they're almost taking it as a personal challenge to make the game as good as possible now, which is the kind of dedication that I love about this company. I mean, they gave us another free update for Witcher 3. There was the next gen update, and that just changed the game. Now, when asked about the upcoming overhaul, Sasko stated that all core main systems of the game have been redone or updated in a major way. The biggest ones are about perks and skill trees, which have been rebuilt completely, and the next one is we've added a vehicle combat system which enables new car chases. They also said that we've greatly expanded AI and completely redone the police system, which is rebuilt from the ground up and now has multiple levels with multiple archetypes of enemies who will chase you. It's also worth mentioning that the experience will be different in Dogtown whenever you compare it to Night City. They said that we've also redone the loop and whole progression of the entire game. The difficulty curve is different, the tiers and drops of loot are different, the archetypes of enemies have been redone for more variety. Those are the core things we've changed, he said, and if you look into it, there are very few systems that they didn't look into and change or update. Even the UI and UX has been greatly updated. They said that we also looked at criticism, for example, in the open world. When you play the base game versus Phantom Liberty, you will see the difference. For example, there are car chases that happen dynamically when factions fight. AI improvements mostly extend to all enemies. Your followers, like you saw with Agent Reed in the demo, you can also use it, but pedestrians are mostly bug fixes. Now, in addition to all of that, the cyberware system has been almost entirely redone, and there is a new Edge Runners perk that has some risks and rewards, which seems to be a common theme throughout this entire update. As Sasko also stated that they kept the risk reward system in mind when designing all of the changes. Skill trees are focused more on abilities now as opposed to simple stat changes, like we saw with the base game, meaning there's going to be a lot more gameplay options at your disposal. There will also be relic tree systems full of potential upgrades that can be achieved by finding relic points around Dogtown, which I am personally super excited to test out. And next up, the new vehicle combat system sounds really exciting, and Sasko was also super eager for people to see it. When talking about vehicular combat, he said you can aim your handgun through the windshields or the windows. There's also weaponized vehicles with Gatling guns or rockets that you can actually use and shoot. Some of the cars from the base game will also be updated and weaponized, whereas others you can just open up doors, like from the original CGI trailer where V was shooting out of the door. On motorcycles, you can use your katana, which I am so hyped about, by the way. Like, let's just be honest. Wake up, samurai. We get to use our katana with a motorcycle. They're also
that's crazy right there too. Katana on the motorcycle. Dude, this is just such great news. I'm so happy. Hopefully, and I'm glad they're waiting till September, because obviously they said they need to work on it some more. Hopefully it'll be ready in September. You know, I would hate to see another failed launch, especially if they're doing an overhaul. And then comes the DLC. I don't know if the DLC is coming in September. Did he state that? Let me know down in the comments if you guys know what date the DLC is coming out. But yeah, this is great news.
Points on vehicles will make combat more dynamic, and a main side objective will involve stealing vehicles for Mama Wells, and some of them will be extremely difficult to snatch due to the additional objectives required to get them. To put it simply, this is basically just boosting cars. Some of the objectives contain completing the theft without taking any damage, or having to follow the car and hack it remotely. Now, cars also won't be purchasable from fixers post overhaul, so you'll have to put in some work into beefing up your vehicle arsenal. And on top of all of that, there's going to be a new airdrop system where random loot cases will drop around the map, and you'll have to race over to them to secure them before they're gone. This seems very similar to the special cargo missions from the CEO update of GTA Online, where essentially if you wanted to fill up your warehouse, you would just do this mission. You find the cargo that they placed on the map somewhere, and then you take it to your warehouse after you get the police off of you or the other players off of you, and then essentially that would fill up your warehouse and you could just sell your warehouse. Now I'd like to shift gears into some of the details regarding the characters that we will see during the Phantom Liberty Liberty expansion, and I gotta say, this has got me really excited. So first, let's talk about Myers. So Myers is the former CEO of Miltech and the current president of the United States of America, currently in her third term. Myers is in the unenviable position of running a country at a time when power is wielded by corporations. While traveling on the Space Force One, Myers crash lands.
You know, it's the surprising thing about her is she doesn't look like she has that much cyber tech wear installed
In Dogtown, triggering a power struggle with far-reaching consequences. Next up, we have Songbird, who is a talented netrunner and President Myers' right hand, and there aren't many people who can keep up with their abilities. Songbird's talents makes her a valuable asset to the NUSA, one that the country needs on its side to defend the nation's precarious position. Leaving her post is not an option. Next up, we have Solomon Reed, or as they call him, Reed, is an experienced FIA agent who's proven himself countless times in covert intelligence missions. He knows better than anyone how to tap into the countless webs of spies and netrunners, how to extract information, and how to break into even the most.
So it sounds like basically we're getting a whole new team.
Tightly guarded places. His loyalty and sense of duty is a difficult thing to shake. Next up, we have Alex, who is once an inspiring brain dance actress. Alex was recruited to the NUSA's Federal Intelligence Agency by Solomon Reed, a talented shapeshifter. She also happens to have a mean streak that her time in Dogtown did nothing to temper, but as long as she's playing a part, her true personality won't peek through. Next up, we have Colonel Hansen, who rules Dogtown with an iron fist. He carved out this patch of land for himself during the Unification War and intends to keep it with the help of his loyal Bargus soldiers. Hansen's military background doesn't mean that he favors violence as a solution. His keen intellect and strategic foresight make him a formidable foe. Now, with all of these characters being revealed, one thing that has a lot of people upset is the fact that Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty will not have romance. They said that they will not have romance. That's not going to be the focus of Phantom Liberty DLC, and it did have a lot of people disappointed. One of the main plots of Cyberpunk 2077 were the various romance arcs that you would have in that game, and they will not be existing in this game. So if you plan on playing Phantom Liberty and you look forward to a branching storyline in terms of romance options, that will unfortunately not be present. Either way though, guys, the hype is real for Phantom Liberty. It's releasing on September 26th. We got a stacked month. We've got Starfield, we've got Phantom Liberty releasing. So needless to say, we have a lot of games to be playing. Now, if you're watching this video and you're looking into playing Cyberpunk 2077, I would wait. It's currently on sale, so you could buy the game now, but I would not start the actual main campaign until this big overhaul releases. It's going to be a game-changing experience. I will likely replay through the game again just to be able to experience what the developers initially intended on releasing back at the original launch of the game. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up with this video. Let me know what aspect you are most excited for with Phantom Liberty. For me, it's got to be the overhaul of the game. Being able to use a katana on a motorcycle is going to be sick, and I cannot wait. Do me a favor, leave a like, subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on. Don't forget to enter the PS5 giveaway. All of the details are in the pinned comment. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.
Wow, what an update, guys. We're getting an overhaul, we're getting new content. Everything just sounds amazing. I can't wait to see what they come out with in September. Hopefully, again, like I said, I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully it's not a letdown like launch was, but we'll see. Everything sounds promising right now, but I'm holding my breath until I see it. I really want them to succeed with this though. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and hit the sub on the channel if you're new. And until next time, thanks for watching. Hey guys, if you liked the video, make sure you head over to the page, hit that like button, scroll over, smash that subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified for future video drops, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.